There are now a record 82,000 prisoners serving time at Her Majesty's pleasure. That's more than there are places to hold them, and the numbers are set to increase.
Around about 18,000 men are going to be sharing two to a cell that was designed for one person. And we've already had suicide rates go up last year, and it's thought to be linked to overcrowding. The number of violent incidents between prisoners and staff have all gone up. It's not looking very good.
But it seems the issue of what to do with the nation's lawbreakers is as old as the law itself. In the 16th and 17th century, punishment was about shaming the offender and deterring others. So people were placed in stocks, like this poor chap, or they were publicly whipped or branded. At that time, prison was really just a holding area for those awaiting trial. In the 18th and 19th centuries, the population exploded. More people meant more crime, and harsher methods were brought in to deal with those criminals. Britain's bloody code listed 222 offences punishable by death. And just take a look at some of them: being found on the King's Highway with a sooty face, shooting a rabbit, or stealing a pocket handkerchief. And of those who escaped the noose, many thousands were transported to colonies in North America or Australia. Others were sentenced to hard labour here in Britain. The first state prison was built at Millbank in 1816. Until then, they'd been privately and often very corruptly run. I'm here in Wandsworth in the shadow of Britain's largest prison. So when it comes to prison policy, what do local people want?
Councils are always saying that they've got no money to go around doing street repairs or removing graffiti. Well, put these people in stripy pyjamas and get them scrubbing walls.
Having a sign on them saying I'm a drug dealer and I, help to kill, that sort of thing.
In fact, jails made them more lazy, so getting them to do actual labour, learning a trade and doing something for society like community service and stuff like that is a good idea.
Why have they got to have rehabilitation?
Because you've got to make sure that they're actually capable of living back in society.
In the 20th century, the ambition became not just to lock prisoners up, but to rehabilitate them and reform them.
The idea of prison, the punishment is you're deprived of your liberty. From there on in, it's meant to be a place that is of some use, so that people leave prison less likely to offend than when they went in, and that is not the reality at the moment.
That ideal has collided with the sheer numbers now behind bars. There simply hasn't been the room to make prisons transform criminals into citizens. So at the beginning of the 21st century, we have 160 jails in Britain. Is building more really the best that we can do?